This is a Big Bear Dungeons podcast, where we explore mature themes including explicit sexual content, intense violence, strong language, and some adult situations possibly triggering to some. This podcast is rated 18+, and listener discretion is advised. Please share this podcast with your friends and family, and don't forget to check out our social media profiles. Give us a like and follow to stay updated. I hope you enjoy this episode.
Yes, I'm Theraway Kimbo, played by Chance Faree. Fun fact about Theraway. About 3.5 hours ago, he found out firsthand what 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink means.
What does it mean? What does it mean, Theraway?
It means 2 fingers in strawberry icing donuts and 1 in your butt.
Name is Sky Silverlight, and he's being played by Tyler. And a little fun fact is that in the real world, Sky was actually a huge fan of WWE, and his favorite wrestler was The Undertaker.
Oh.
Oh, and also he's got a sister that he hasn't seen in years, so hopefully she will come up. Maybe not in this campaign, but in another podcast, hopefully.
Tyler, Theraway, good choice. Undertaker, one of the best.
Oh, yeah. The best.
Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. I am Hayden, and I am playing the great Mikhail. And fun fact about him, he grew up playing a lot of sports, but wrestling is one of the few that he never actually got to play. He did try and get a wrestling team at his high school. Mikhail actually had a proposal built up, little presentation for his principal on why we should have a wrestling team, and after going through his whole spiel, that's when the principal looked at him and said, "I'm sorry, we can't have a wrestling team. It's just too violent of a sport." And that's when he looked at his principal and said, "You do realize that last week we broke a guy's arm in football, and we still have a game next week."
Yeah, I was about to say, what about fucking football?
Yeah. She's
I
like,
hit her with
"Well,
the
You
stomach.
shouldn't
I'm
do
sorry,
that to footballs.
I'm sorry, I have a meeting here in about 10 minutes, and you should be getting back to class."
I
heard.
heard the fucking stomach after that.
Listen, he
I
was
fucked
about
a
to hit her
football
with the
once.
pile drive. and Mikhail's on the top ropes!
Heard that. Well, I am Zach Baker, and I am your Dungeon Master. I do want to say that this has been very fun so far, going through this. Don't think of me as a god of this realm. Think of me as a narrator that is just narrating everything you guys are doing in a story. In our last D&D session, the party's somber morning began with an unexpected awakening from Dr. Spellweaver, leading them to attend the funeral of their beloved friend, Austin. We all love Austin, don't we? The sight of Austin's lifeless body left them deeply scarred, and now they carry a weight of trauma that only will require time or some potent magic to overcome. Seeking distraction and solace, they engaged in a training session under the guidance of Dr. Spellweaver and the unconventional wisdom of a barbarian flower wizard named Dan. Amidst fun challenges and trials, they honed their skills and forged bonds of camaraderie. However, their training accumulated into one final test where they're going to be facing off against 2 formidable opponents, the brothers of Catch These Hands, in a gritty 1-to-1 showdown within the confines of a wrestling ring. With determination and grit, the party must prove their mettle in the face of adversity, knowing the lessons learned in this trial will serve them well on their continuing journey. So just a little, Hayden, I'm going to take a little bit of liberty here and just metagame, share what the 1 day of no pill is affecting you.
Gotcha.
We're starting with this shit.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
we are.
as our listeners and you guys know, it's been one full in-game day since he has refused to take the dungeon rot pill. Hayden, how about you do it since it's affecting you?
1 day of no pill. Disadvantage on all ability checks and saving throws. Long rest does not heal, and short rests heal half of hit dice. Gee, fuck. Speed is halved, and target feels lethargic and sick. Overexhausted. Every time you take damage, a Constitution saving throw of 10 plus. Every time you take damage. Holy shit!
So basically, every time you take damage, you do a Constitution saving throw. The first time you take damage, in between every short rest, it starts off at
+1.
10. It starts off at 10. It's a 10 DC. Every time you take damage after that first one, the DC goes up by 1.
Yeah, gotcha.
And if you fail, then you faint for a round of combat.
Okay, so I'm not down.
No, you're not down. You kind of lose your senses and you go dark for a second.
You know, I can work. I can probably work with that.
I love how this
know,
man
actually-
is justifying not taking the pill with all these debuffs.
You know, I think it is a good thing, because this is the perfect time to get my teammates to be like, all right, it's time for us to unite and exceed our limits. We thought we could only do this with the 3 of us, but I know we can do it with the 2 of us and supersede exactly what we think we can do. So this really just shows how much faith I have in you guys.
You should really just take that pill.
Yeah, for real, man.
Fucking for real.
We open to Mikhail in the middle of a wrestling ring with one of the brothers. I don't think y'all have actually figured out his name ever. I'll go ahead and give it to you. His name is James. James, the brother of Cash These Hands. As we open up, you see this huge arena around you, and it looks like cardboard cutouts of people in different races are kind of like jumping up and down, and it seems to be like magically animated. And there's cheering going on, and it's pretty lively in here. The brother is over in the corner getting his shoulders massaged up by the other brother named John. And you guys are in the far northwest corner. Mikhail is standing there, and you have Dan, the flower barbarian wizard. You have Theraway, and you have Sky standing outside the ring. A spotlight comes down, and a poof of smoke comes out. Within that poof of smoke is Dr. Spellweaver. He's dressed up in a very tightly knit business suit, and it's a black and white attire. He's got a black little bow tie on, and he grabs this mic that descends from the sky, and he goes, "All right, are you guys ready to rumble?" The crowd goes crazy. Just a boom of voices happening and cheering. He goes, "Well, let's talk about the rules real quick. 1 person in the ring at a time. You can tag in from the sidelines. You can do only damage to the enemy in the ring at the moment. If someone switches out to the sidelines, no damage can be done to those people. All attacks are considered non-lethal. We will not be killing anyone today. There is crowd work. You can attempt to get the crowd's energy and support on your side, and you have advantage on your next move if you're successful. But I gotta tell you, this crowd is fickle, and they switch between the winners that they think are gonna win all the time. To win, you have to get a KO or pin them down for 3 counts. That's 3 rounds. If someone is knocked KO, then if they are close enough to the side and someone can grab their hand without getting in the ring, they can switch out that person that KO'd for a short rest. All right, that's it. Ding, 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 ding. Round 1. And you see this, like, tiefling walking around in a bikini, and she's holding a round 1 above her head. Fucking Baldur's Gate.
I had to, bro. You said tiefling, and I was like, "Yep, Carla."
I have no objections.
So let's start with a initiative roll. So Theraway, you got a 7.
I rolled a 17, then a 16 with a +2. That is 18.
Good old Sky over here rolled a nat 20 with a +3 to initiative, so
Ooh.
23.
And Dan, ooh, he's right after Sky. All right, that is our initiative. Sky, Dan, Mikkel, the brothers, and Theraway. You hear the ding, 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 ding. The brother named James inside the ring pulls off his nice white polo shirt that he had and just reveals rippling muscles underneath. And he is ready to go. It's going to be Sky's turn, I believe.
Sky is gonna yell out, "Your body may look pretty good, but your feet probably ain't gonna be much." And I'm gonna cast a level 1 grease in their corner.
Ooh, okay. That's a dex saving throw to see if they are gonna fall prone. That's a nat 20. Yeah, +4. So that's 24. Does that make it?
How dare you ask that?
Girl, dude, how fucking dare you?
How
You piece of
dare
shit.
you?
What level are you guys again? I'm sorry.
Dude goes, "Hey, it's a nat 20. Does it hit?" Yes, it fucking hits.
It doesn't hit. You see
Play
that
your Uno reverse card.
as the grease hits, he kind of just like stands his ground and lowers into a squat a little bit and is able to control his balance. He does not fall prone. So I need to make a dex saving throw for John, who's in the sidelines. And that's gonna be a 22, so that saves 2. All right.
Damn.
Yeah, 18 + 4. All right, so Sky,
That's my turn.
That's your turn. Bet. Moving on to
Yep, that's
Dan. So Dan, he looks at you two that are on the sidelines, Theraway and Sky, and he goes, "Do I tag in now? Is it my turn?"
I mean, if you want to tag in, be my
Puzzle.
guest.
Yes.
Booga ya booga, man.
Okay. And he like reaches his hand up toward Mikkel. He goes, Tag me in, bro."
Oh, but sure. And I go, Mikhail goes for like a high five, not quite sure why, he just like has his hand up, be like, "Tag me in!" Like, what's a tag in?
Your hands connect and you switch places like an instant transmission from Dragon Ball Z. You just, bloop, you just change. So you see your hand is touching him, looking up now, and he's looking down, touching yours. Dan retracts his hand. He turns around and looks at the brother, and he goes, "It's wizard time." And he uses an action to make a flower grow out of the middle of the ring. It's looks like a small little red and yellow flower. "I dare you to mess with that one." Okay, that's my turn. Moving on to Mikkel.
Even though he's quite confused at what is going on, Mikhail is going to take it upon himself to Leroy Jenkins into this whole situation. So he's going to yell at Dan to tag me in and like have Dan throw his hand up. And Mikhail's going to dive off the top ring, slap Dan's hand, and try and land on top of the poor soul that's going to be underneath him.
Okay. So you climb up to the top of the ring, and you jump off, and you're going to slap his hand midair. Give me an athletics check.
With this,
Yeah,
He's just rolling everything with this today,
Pretty-
isn't he?
pretty much.
16.
Heard. 16's good enough. So as you get up
Nice.
on top of the top rope, you kind of bounce a couple times, and you fly into the air after saying this to Dan to tag in. He looks up and he slaps your hand. You switch places with Dan, so now Dan is the one flying toward the brother, and you're just standing in the corner.
Oh my
I wanted to give
God.
him that extra momentum.
As Dan comes close to hitting the brother, it seems like something magical happens, and it protects the brother. He hits the top of the brother and bounces off, and then hits John on the sideline. Dr. Spellweaver gets the mic and goes, "And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what happens when you have more than one contestant on each team in the ring." Brother John on the sidelines does get hit by Dan. He's taking 4 points of damage.
That's amazing.
As you see him hit the ground, you hear Dan moan out in pain. The 4 points of damage was transferred to Dan because he was actually causing damage to John, who's who's not in the ring. So Dan takes the 4 points of damage.
You see Mikhail back in the corner, just like trying to figure out what happened, and he's like looking down at his hands, and it really looks like he's trying to do calculus with his fingers. So like,
You hear Dan call out very weakly, "Why did you do that, brother?"
It was gonna be awesome. These trusty javelins are for.
So you want to roll for hit?
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Heard. Roll for hit
just
with disadvantage.
Okay, so that's a 19 plus 4, 23.
23.
I like this new dice set that I got.
So with
Yeah.
a 23, that does hit. So go ahead and roll for that damage.
I got it. That's a 6 damage.
So you quickly turn around to the blunt end, and you just kind of jab his chest, causing 6 bludgeoning damage.
That's my turn.
Cool. It's the brother's turn. Let's start with James first. He's inside the ring. He's going to do a dex saving throw. That is a 18. Does that pass your grease spell?
Yes, it does.
All right. So he's able to quickly maneuver into a couple of the like barren spots the grease hasn't touched on the mat yet, and jump over to you. And when he gets up in the air on his last jump, he just like Superman punches and tries to punch you in the face, Mikhail. That is going to be a dirty 20. That's going to be a 3 points of damage, my good sir. Plus 3, so 6. John, who's on the sidelines, he's going to push Dan off of him and try to stand up with a dex saving throw. As he gets up, he kind of like does the running in place Scooby-Doo kind of thing going on, and he falls on his ass. He tries again, and yeah, he does the same thing. So he is down. He's not able to do anything else. It's now going to be Theraway's turn.
Well, nobody's eyes are on me. They're focused on the ring. I'm in the background. The slow intensity of the war gong builds. Really, I want this war gong, like the battle is now beginning. The champion is entering the stage. I want dancing lights. I want them to kind of like go out, like kind of pop up in the middle of the stage, and then fly back to like as everybody's like, oh, what? What? The gong's going. Boom. The lights come back to me. Mikhail tagged me in. I climb up to the top rope, and basically what I want to do is I want to do like a flying sideways body slam, and while I'm doing it, tag him out and tag myself in.
Okay, first of all, give me a performance check.
Oh, that's what I wanted right off the bat.
Yeah, I want to see where this was going. Give me a performance check to see how the dancing lights does and possibly gets everyone's attention.
I rolled an 8, but I have an inspiration from last time. I'm going to burn that to roll again.
Heard that.
17.
Nice. So the dancing lights kind of move around each other, and it distracts the crowd. The lights have taken over everyone's concentration, and they see it fly up and around and twisting and eventually vortexing and coming over to your war gong and just rotating around it. And with every dong dong that you give, they kind of vibrate with the air channel that's created from the back of the gong, showing how strong this vibration is out of this gong. I feel like I said gong a lot, I'm sorry. Give me an athletics check to climb up to the top of the ring.
9.
So with that, you then speak out to Mikkel.
Mikkel, I need to be in there. I need to give these people the show that they came for. Put your hand up, brother.
Mikhail, not quite sure what he's talking about, just takes his hand and throws it straight up. Does this work?
You raise it up a little bit more?
Mikhail goes on his tippy toes.
Could you straighten your arm out for me? Just having this conversation with him from the top rope.
Yeah, his arm was straight up.
Oh, it's straight up?
Yeah, it's just his palm.
You're raising the roof?
Okay. At this point, his hands up. Fairway, give me an athletics check with advantage, because you're starting to hear the crowd go, Theraway, Theraway, Theraway.
As the crowd is chanting Theraway, I want to look at him and I say, when I'm in the ring, I'm not Theraway Kimbo. I'm Bardioso Magnifico.
They're starting to change their chant to Barty, Barty, Barty.
Nat 20. Nat 20.
So you obviously jump off and do like a 360 cartwheel spin in the air, a little corkscrew action. And you, as you're coming down toward the direction of James, you tag the top of Mikkel's hand, and you two instant transmissions switch places. You are now standing in the corner with this big hulking man in front of you. And Mikkel slams down and hits the top of James's head and boom, bounces out of the ring. You hear Dr. Spellweaver go again, I told you, only one in the ring at a time for this ring match. But the crowd is loving it their way. I'm sorry, Bardioso
Magnifico.
At this point, so I'm gonna say that Mikkel, you are thrown off to the right side. After you hit, you're gonna fall and take a little bit of damage. Do a dex saving throw to see if you take half damage with disadvantage, obviously.
I like that, obviously. Kind of aggressive.
It wasn't meant to be aggressive. I think Hayden's making great choices in this campaign, and I like to see more of that.
With disadvantage, that is a 2 plus 2, so that's a 4.
Heard, you're gonna take full damage.
Yeah.
You face plant into the concrete that is the floor, and you take 3 points of damage.
I want to crouch down and hide myself behind my war dog.
I will give you partial cover for that, so you have advantage on any attack made against you. Moving on to Sky, standing off to the side, just seeing all this happen. What's his next move?
He is currently looking on at amazement, wondering how the hell he can follow throwing 2 people. Essentially.
It's a wrestling match, brother. Get the chair from out under the ring.
So
It's the glorious adamantite.
Throw me a bat wrapped in barbed wire right now.
Sky is going to jump down. He's going to reach underneath the ring and look for a barbed wire baseball bat.
Give me investigation check.
2.
You grab a long 4-foot foam pool noodle.
I'm looking at him. He's holding that. That's not what I wanted, brother.
Alright, so Sky is going to jump like halfway into the ring with like just his legs hanging out. And he's going to try to wrap the pool noodle around James's legs, and then he's going to yank him.
I love that.
Alrighty then.
Give me a strength check with advantage.
Yeah. 19.
So you're able to yank his feet out from underneath him with his pool noodle. And as your feet touch the ground and you upright yourself, you see that he has fallen prone. It is Dan's turn. He's going to try to get up from the grease and not slip. That's a nat 1. He falls and hit his head.
Oh.
He hit his head on the like on the corner post, and he takes 5 damage.
Oh.
Oh, Dan, I'm so sorry.
He like kind of like pulls himself up a little bit without standing up, and he looks across the match at you guys and he goes, "I'm okay," and puts a thumbs up, and you see that his temple is bleeding. "Don't worry, the flour's almost ready, guys." And he uses
You're good, buddy.
He uses his bonus action to like reach out his hand, and you see like little bits of like yellow light, maybe pollen, is going towards the flower. That's gonna be Dan's turn, so it is going to be Mikhail now. It's the top of your turn, and you have to do a Constitution saving throw, and a DC of 10 must be made, or you're fainted.
19.
Nice.
Thank God I have a proficiency in that.
I'm back. But did you roll that with disadvantage?
Fuck.
Oh,
Hey,
with disadvantage.
18!
Okay, you are good, my good sir.
I want to go underneath the ring.
So yeah, go ahead and give me a stealth check to hide underneath the ring. And that's going to give you just enough movement speed to get underneath and like maybe 2 feet in.
You know what? 16? I'm going to burn 1 inspiration. 11 with a +2.
All right, you're taking a 13. As you kind of stumble underneath, you hit some of the objects that are underneath the stage and kind of make a little bit of a loud ruckus. But the crowd is going so wild over Theraway's performance and what he's done that they don't really pay attention to you. So you are stealthily hidden underneath
Loser.
the stage in the dark recesses. Alright, moving on to the brothers. So John from outside the ring is going to try to stand up again. That is a 16. Does that pass your grease, Mr. Sky?
Yes, it does.
Heard. He stands up, and he is going to make his way out of the grease. So as he moves out of the grease, he loses half of his movement speed for the amount that he's in there. So he loses 5. He's got 25 left. So he's going to make it down the 5 feet and down 5 feet towards your corner. And he is going to try to find something underneath the stage. Nat 20, let's go.
Oh boy.
He pulls out a barbed wire baseball bat.
You son of a bitch.
And he tosses
Wow, that's our idea.
he tosses it up to James. James does not catch it. That's a 7. So it comes hurling toward him,
Be right back.
and he gets hit in the face with the barbed baseball bat.
Isn't James prone?
James is prone. He had disadvantage on that, which is why he got a really low roll.
Heard.
So he takes 4 points of damage as it hits his side and then just lays next to the tarp, or lays on the ring. He's going to attempt to get up. That's his half movement speed, so he gets up. And he's going to bonus action, item interaction, grab the baseball bat off the ground. And he's just going to look at Theraway and go, "You fucked up, son. This is my ring." That's a 9 on performance. The crowd's not really feeling it too much. But he is going to swing at Theraway with disadvantage. That's going to be a 5, and I don't think that hits.
It does not.
Heard. That is going to be the brother's turn. It's now Theraway's turn.
I emerge from out behind my war gong, and I look at the crowd, and I smack the war gong one good time. I want this to be like so loud that it like I'm doing it right next to his ear. I want it to like kind of disorient him. Like that's what I'm going for. Where he's like, oh, my ears.
So give me a performance check with advantage because you have the crowd working for you.
That is a nat 20 plus 6, 26.
Oh my God. Okay, so as you turn around and you speak to the crowd and you bang the war gong, you feel like as you have the war gong mallet at the top of its swing, you feel some magic pulsing through your arm. And you can tell this is going to be a good hit. And you put all of your bardic power into it, and as you cling the gong, every other sound in the entire auditorium is drowned out by this magnificent gong hit that you just had. As it reverberates through, you look over your shoulder and you see that the brother, James, is blasted back 10 feet into the grease and he's prone. He has a little bit of blood coming down from his earlobe. It seems to be coming out of his inner ear area. Give me a D6 roll with your spellcasting modifier, which is charisma.
9.
He takes 9 points of damage from the sound wave. Give me a performance check with advantage again.
19.
Nice. The crowd is even louder, chanting your in-ring name. Bartoloso, Bartoloso, you'll lose a limb to Bartoloso. They are pumped. You're going to have advantage for a while if you keep this momentum up.
You want to be in here, Gal? Looking at you. What you want to do? I got him right where I need him.
I wasn't really planning on getting in just yet.
Okay. Look.
You hear John from 5 feet away from you go, "You fucking pussy! Can't get in the ring, huh? You scared? You scared?" That kind of sways the crowd a little bit into his direction. There's a couple people in the crowd going, "Well, you know, he might be a pussy. He might be right." And you see the cardboard cutouts like jump up and down.
Bardic inspiration on Danley. Mark that off. Like I want to move back into my corner with what movement I have, and lean up in the corner. Put my hand out in front of me, and motion. You know, the 4 fingers, like bring it on.
Moving on to Sky.
Guy's gonna look at John, and with his left hand, flip him off, and with his right hand, arm fully extended, hand wide open, I'm gonna cast Firebolt on James.
Nice. You do have advantage on that because he is prone.
18.
Nice. That does hit. Go ahead and roll that damage.
It's gonna be an 8.
As fire hits his sidearm, he erupts in pain. Rah! You're gonna pay for that, little man. You're next. And he like shakily puts out a finger pointing towards you while he's laying on the ground.
Wouldn't he be engulfed in flames at this point?
Oh, he is prone in the grease. He got knocked
Yes.
back. Oh, I am so sorry. You are
Yes.
right. Fire damage at the beginning of his turn, and he'll be engulfed in flames. And he can put it out as an action.
It's gonna look at John still and just be like, "How's that for pussy, bitch?" And that's my turn.
Seems like a cheap way to take someone out, to be honest. You can't take them on with your own fist. You have to do some weird magic-y gook.
Your mom
Don't
would
worry.
know what cheap is.
Yeah, your mom.
Give me another stealth check with disadvantage, Mikhail, for speaking out while stealthing. You have to beat a 10.
Well, that's pretty convenient because it was a double 18.
John hears this and like looks around him and thinks it's the crowd, and he's like, "What do you know? What do you know about my mother?" Dan, it is his turn. He's going to try to stand up. That is a 10. I'm going to use Bardic Inspiration. You know, it's really weird being the DM, rolling for a NPC's Bardic Inspiration, because, like, I know what the DC is. And technically, you're not supposed to know what the DC is. It's weird. Anyways, he got an extra he got an extra 3 on that, so that'll definitely work for a 13. He stands up. He's gonna make his way around to where he's 10 feet away from Sky, and he's gonna look up at Theraway and go, "It's time. Tag me in, bro." He makes his athletics check. He climbs up to the top, bounces a couple times, and jumps over toward Theraway to slap. And Theraway, he's jumping in a way to where when you slap, you're going to be flying over the ropes and able to make a dex save with advantage because of the crowd work you've done.
Like so.
Bet. Give me that dex saving throw with advantage as he slaps your hand.
11.
It's not the most graceful, but you don't take any damage from it. You land on the ground from this sudden juxtaposition in the air, and able to rework your surroundings enough with your mobility to hit the ground with your feet flat. Dan is going to use his action to put both of his hands out, and you see that same pollen-esque kind of light glow coming from his hands, and it feeds the red and yellow flower to where it grows, and it's roughly the size of a full-grown man, about 5.5 to 6 feet tall. It kind of like transforms out of the flower into a face with 2 eyes and a mouth with jagged rows of teeth, and it opens up and it goes to bite at the foot of James, who's in the ring. It hits. Woo! That's gonna be 14 points of damage because it bites down and clasps onto its ankle. This man-eating flower is now got... Oh my god. I rolled for contesting strength checks and I rolled 2 nat 1s in a row. So James is able to shake his leg free from the bite, but he still takes the damage. But that is going to be Dan's turn. So now it's Mikkel.
I want to do a perception check on anything and everything underneath the ring.
I would say it's more
So,
of
like,
an investigation check with disadvantage.
Investigation, disadvantage plus mod was a 15. You know what? I am going to use the Barb. That was a 4, and that was a 15, correct? So plus 4, 19.
Heard. You hear the soft ringing of Theraway's gong in your ear, and it almost brings you like a mental satisfaction, like a mantra type thing. And you're able to focus in and really find the best pieces that are out down here. You see a ladder. You see a barbed wire baseball bat. A couple of chairs that look like they're aluminum stacked up. And a hammer, sound speaker system, an assortment of little toys like rubber duckies and little gooses and ducks that you can like squeeze and have that really loud annoying sound. Rubber chickens, that's what they are.
I want to move over to the stereo system. Okay, so I'd like to grab them, do the movement speed, go back out from under, and could I start like setting up, or is it already just ready to go?
There is going to have to be some wiring done. Let's say that is a wisdom check.
And we are going to burn that last inspiration. I'm throwing it on this. 14 plus 0.
14 is good enough. I would say that with that, I mean, you've hooked up many a frat fraternity's speakers before.
It's the same surround sound system as my dad has back in his man cave. Yeah, don't worry about it, bro.
So you're able to hook it all up, and the only thing you're missing is a mic. Moving on to the brothers. James in the ring is going to use half his movement to stand up. He is going to run over next to Theraway and tag in his brother John. And James is going to stand on the sideline. You see an instant transmission. Boom, boom. And John is now standing in front of Theraway. And John just looks down at him and goes, "You ready, little man? I'm gonna hurt you."
Make sure it's a good hurt.
He uses his bonus action to item interact and take the barbed baseball bat and swing it at Theraway. The crowd is still yelling Theraway's ring name, so he's gonna have disadvantage on this attack.
And what's the ring name?
Bartoloso.
Bardioso Magnifico, and you'll say the whole thing.
Bardioso Magnifico.
And I'm saying
How
this
about
as
Magnifico?
Theraway in the ring to the announcers. Because that's what I'm hearing this over.
You hear Dr. Spillriver go, "All right, guys, it's Bardioso Malvolentio.
Magnifico!
Magnifico, sorry." And you hear the crowd go, "Magnifico, Magnifico, Bartoloso Magnifico." So he got a 12. Does that hit?
No.
Heard. He misses. James is going to try to grab your ankle Theraway and pull you down. "Watch this. I'll take this boy down a peg. He has no chance against men like me." And pounds his chest a little bit. He's going to grab your ankle and try to pull it out from underneath you. And that's a nat 20. He pulls the feet out from underneath Theraway, and Theraway hits the mat, taking 1 point of damage. And Theraway, it is your turn.
I'm gonna climb up to the top rung and just throw my body at John.
Okay, so you take half your movement to stand up, run over to the nearest rope, which is off to your right. Doing that will cause an opportunity of attack as you're climbing up. So he's going to have a 18 to hit. Give me a strength check.
Dirty 21.
He tries to wrap his arms around your torso to drag you back and pull you onto the ground. But as he wraps his arms around you, you're able to continue climbing and kind of like break free of his grip.
I wag my finger at him and I raise the roof, like get the crowd pumped up.
Give me a performance check as you're on the top rope.
15.
The crowd is more than mostly on your side again. Whatever you like to do next to John, definitely have advantage on it.
I want to do I want to jump off the top rope in like a sideways body like I'm throwing my body like a flying crossbar. I don't know what exactly that move would be called.
I mean, flying crossbar sounds good to me.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. 12.
He's able to kind of sidestep you, and you hit the ground. You don't really take any damage from hitting the tarp, but you are prone again.
The crowd doesn't care what you're saying right now. They want more Bardioso Magnifico.
Moving on to Sky.
I am going to take the pool noodle and go over his head with it and try to yank him back.
Go ahead and roll a strength check.
How does a 14 do?
14 does hit.
As I yank him back, I'll like turn around and hold the pool noodles with both hands and just kind of like put all my weight on the outside of the ring. That way it like really holds him back.
Heard, with his back arching over the top rope. Gotcha. Moving on to Dan. So Dan is going to reach up his hand to Theraway, who's prone on the thing right now, and he goes, "Tag me in, bro. I want to finish this. I got this."
I kind of reach my hand out and wiggle it towards him in a slapping motion.
He definitely is able to reach out just far enough to reach palm to palm, and instant transmission. Floop. You see that you are now where Dan is, and Dan is now prone on the tarp. He stands up, and he points a finger toward John, and he goes, "Sick 'em." And you see the giant plant that has grown in the middle of this ring come over and grab at his ankles. That is a nat 1. John is able to jump up and avoid and slam the flower's head into the ground, causing 8 points of damage. Golly. Dan is going to then come over and just give him a good old 1-2. 2 attacks, punches to the face. Both hits, dealing 8 points of damage. Who's your king? Who's your king of the ring? It is now Mikkel.
I want to grab onto the ropes and pull myself way down and basically use the ropes as a slingshot with me being a projectile. Jumping up, and I want that fucking mic.
Yeah, give me an athletics check.
And 14 with +6. Dirty 20.
Nice. You grab the top rope and you pull it down, and your feet are still firmly planted on the ground outside the ring. And you let go of your feet and you launch up and you fly up, and Dr. Spellweaver is just passing you, and he goes, "Oh, here's a new one, people. A high dive in wrestling." A little chuckle comes out after that. The crowd likes it.
Grab the mic and yank it from him.
It would definitely be a sleight of hand.
Was an 11. 16.
You grab the mic out of Dr. Spellweaver's hand. "What are you doing? I'm the announcer. That's my mic."
And as I'm just falling down, it's like, this is the people's mic now. We're ready to bring this roof down.
As you fall, you're falling toward the edge of the ring. Make a dex saving throw with disadvantage to see if you take half damage.
Was an 8.
So 10, you're gonna take full damage. You're gonna hit the concrete floor, and you're gonna take 6 points of damage.
Oh.
Mikkel, you still have an action if you'd like.
Limp over to Theraway, handing him the mic. That's what I want to do. I'm going to be useful in some form or fashion.
I would say he is within 5 feet of you, so you can hand off the mic to Theraway.
Give him the old razzle-dazzle, boyo.
I take that mic from him. I'm about to hit the dazzle-razzle, brother.
Moving on. So we are now onto the brother's turn. John, he gets up. He is going to run over and try to sock a fist right into the face of Dan. That hits, causing 6 points of damage. Dan's looking pretty bloodied, and he might just start raging this next turn. Then James, who's off on the side, he's going to run over and try to tear the microphone out of Theraway's hand. So Theraway, give me a strength check.
19.
You had to beat a 20.
No.
No.
His sleight of hand is a +4. He got a 16. That's a dirty 20.
Oh, no.
So he pulls the mic out of your hand and he goes, "Now you guys think that these fellas can take us down? Well, I don't think so. There's 4 against 2 and we're still gonna win." That's gonna be advantage on his persuasion check. That is a 17. The crowd is starting to sway in their favor. So it is about 50-50 at this point. No one has advantage and no one has disadvantage at this point. He is going to take the mic and try to wrap the cord around Dan's feet and grab the mic on the other side in one swell swoop.
Scone.
Fuck you guys. Fuck you.
What did we do?
He's gonna try to throw the mic out and swing it around Dan's feet and grab the other side, and in one fell swoop, just pull his feet out from underneath him. That works. He's able to throw Dan prone with the mic, and with all the cardboard cutouts jumping up and down, and they start cheering for the brothers. Moving on to Theraway.
I want to try to snatch the mic from him and bash him on the head with it.
Give me a sleight of hand.
16.
Nice. You snatch the mic out of his hand.
Oh yeah, I want to bash him on the head with it.
Okay, roll for hit.
10.
So you miss with your mic attack.
But I've got the mic.
You do have the mic.
And I go, a real man would have taken the hit. You're no real man. Neither one of you are real men. You're little boys. You're little boys in here fighting against real men. And then I run away with the mic. I use all my distance to like run away with the mic while I'm besmirching their name.
Give me a persuasion check for the crowd.
8.
The crowd's not too heavily influenced. It stays pretty much the same, if not a little bit more in the favor of the brothers. Just a tiny bit. So, that's Theraway's turn. Moving on to Sky.
I'm going to dip down, like step back down to the side of the ring and reach underneath and look for a chair.
Give me an investigation check.
13.
Not bad. You're able to find a stainless steel chair.
To kind of pump up the crowd, I'm gonna take the steel chair and just hit the steps next to me a few times.
Okay, cool. Give me a persuasion check or performance check with advantage.
How does a 15 do?
Ooh, 15 doesn't do too bad, actually. Yeah, I would say the crowd is mostly on your team's side now. They're kind of waiting in suspense to see what you're going to do with the chair.
I'm gonna take the chair and just throw it at John.
Roll me for a hit.
15?
15 hits.
Let's go.
Let's roll a
What was the damage on that?
D4 of damage.
That is 6.
You see that it comes up and hits his temple, and it kind of throws him to the side. He's a little off balance as he's trying to regain his senses of where he's at, because the chair made a solid impact with his head.
And then I'm gonna yell out to Dan, Dan, pick up the chair.
He puts up a weak little finger and he goes, or thumbs up, and he goes, "I got you, brother." Moving on to Dan. So Dan is gonna stand up and pick up the chair, and he's going to use the aluminum chair as a bashing utensil. That is a 13. It hits. He's able to swing the chair in the broadside of the face of John, and he deals 4 points of damage, causing John to fall prone. Dan looks around and starts hearing the crowd cheer, "Dan, Dan, Dan is the man. Dan, Dan, Dan is the man." Dan is going to take his second swing, uppercut this man with a steel chair as he's on his knees. Ooh, that's a nat 20.
Honestly, about damn time, Dan.
I love that.
Dan was slipping and sliding everywhere to start. It's about time he did something.
Mikhail, was that you that said that?
That was Mikhail.
Bro, you get inspiration die for that. That was great.
Oh yeah!
Nice.
That was
Needs all the
awesome.
help he can get, exhausted motherfucker.
So he deals a whopping 14 points of damage with this uppercut from this aluminum chair, causing John to fly back and land on the other side of the ring, face up, knocked out. One boy down, another little boy to go.
Let's
Get hyped up if you want to see the second little boy get knocked out!
Can I get an oh yeah?
Give me a performance check with advantage, Theraway.
Ooh, 24. I rolled double 18s.
The crowd is yelling, "Finish him! Finish him! Finish him!" It's Mikhail's turn.
I want to make my way to the other brother and not attack him. I want to use my own body to prevent any form of tag team.
So that happens. You end your turn. It's now James and John's turn. John is knocked out, rolling death savings. That's a fail. James is going to run around and greet you with a grapple check to see if he can get past you and tag his brother. So give me a strength check. You have to beat a 7.
That is a 14.
As James runs toward you, you're able to twist his arm behind his back and hold him off to the side, preventing him from tagging in with his KO'd brother. That is going to be Theraway's turn.
I get on the mic. I'm seeing the brother struggling in the middle of the ring. I'm on this mic and I'm looking at this crowd and I'm going, "Is this what you brought to us? We're outsiders, new. We're new people, and these are the people you've worshipped. I know the things that you cheer for now, and I think it's despicable," and I spit on the ground.
Boo! Boo!
Your boo sustained me. Your boo sustained me. We're taking them out. You remember my name. I haven't heard you say their name once. They're nobodies. We're somebodies in this town.
Yeah, you're just a fucking loser, is what one dude says in the crowd.
Is this mic have a cord on the end of it? Is it corded mic or is this wireless?
It's a corded mic.
Corded mic, is there enough cord to reach this man?
There is.
Okay, I want to throw it out there and like whip it. I want to like whip it at him and whip it back so he can't grab it.
Heard. Throw a dex attack at him.
Wait, aren't these cardboard cutouts?
19.
I love that. Wait, is this cardboard cutouts? 19!
19.
Oh my god. Yes, you're right,
watch out,
Sky.
pour water on him. I'll get him damp cardboard up in here.
He'll make them moist.
Oh my god.
You whip your microphone around. You hit him in the front of his forehead, and it pings back, and you're able to grab it. And it brings him back, and you see blood spurting from his forehead. It seems like maybe like a sawdust type of situation instead of blood, but that's what you see, and it falls back. The crowd erupts in volume and power.
Is there a medic coming to help him?
You see a little cardboard on a stick of like an ambulance, like going up and down like a wave, and it's going through the crowd to him. And someone steps out, picks him up, and puts him in the ambulance, and closes the doors, and then it kind of waves back out.
Hitting the gong. I'm hitting the gong.
Every time you hit the gong, it seems to reverberate into the crowd, and they seem to be shaking and vibrating as their cardboard cutouts. Sky, it's your turn.
This session is fucking wild. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Well-
Cardboard cutouts bleeding and then getting like hauled off.
Sawdusting. Thank you very much. Sawdusting.
Sorry, sawdust. Like, I'm in tears over here because I'm laughing so fucking hard. I am going to climb up to the top rope, and I'm just going to, I guess, ready a cantrip in case John gets back up.
Moving on to Dan. So Dan is still in the middle. He's going to go over and try to pin down the brother John, and he's going to pin him down to where he can't basically reach out as easily to James if he's able to get to him. It's successful.
That's my boy.
Dr. Spellweaver flies down, and he goes, "I don't know if you can hear me because I don't have a mic in my hand right now," and looks over at Theraway. And he goes, "But this is count 1!" And he slaps his hand very firmly onto the tarp of the ring, and using prestidigitation, he has a loud boom come out from it. It is now going to be Mikhail's turn.
I would like to take my javelin and throw it.
Give me a hit with disadvantage.
That would be an 18.
Nice. You do make contact. As you pierce the side of his stomach, you see that blood starts pouring out as you retract it, and he fails one of his death saving throws. Yeah, so he's now two fails. You see the blood splurting out, and you start vomiting blood. As you start spewing blood out, James goes, Dr. Spellweaver, I think there's something wrong with him. We need to check him out. This is not usual. This is not okay. And the crowd starts getting quiet, as in suspense and questioning and concern for Mikhail. Dr. Spellweaver comes down and zooms around you and goes, Are you okay? What's wrong?
I don't know. I'm feeling kind of sad. All this pathetic bitch
Feeling
assness
kinda
that
mad.
I'm surrounded by is making me feel all kinds of down.
I don't think that's what's actually wrong with you. And he snaps his fingers, and all of the auditorium goes away, and it's just you and everyone else and the two brothers still in the group room that you were in originally. He goes, I think we need to have you be seen by a doctor. Make another constitution check with disadvantage.
15.
15's good enough to where you're just able to keep your consciousness as you vomit more blood into this man's face. Dr. Spellweaver, wiping his eyes away with the blood, he goes, yeah, you definitely need to see a doctor before you die.
I'm okay. I'm okay. I need to finish that.
He picks you up and he cradles you and he goes, don't worry, son. I'll make sure I get you to a good medic. And
you're so strong.
He takes you out of the room. I'm presuming everyone's following.
Before Spellweaver takes him off, I have these 2 pills in my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, get ready,
You
motherfucker.
cocksucker.
Get ready, motherfucker. It's coming.
No!
I am going to take one. I'm actually going to take both of the pills. And I'm going to grab Mikhail's hair and just fucking yank it. And I'm going to take the pills and try to shove him down his throat. And then, like, hold his mouth shut.
Okay, give me a sleight of hand check versus his perception check with disadvantage. The perception check is disadvantage, not the sleight of hand.
Hold on. 11.
18.
Fuck.
Yeah, bitch.
Sky, you're able to throw the pills into his mouth while he is cradled in Dr. Spellweaver's arms, and you close his mouth. Give me a strength check versus Mikhail's strength check at disadvantage to see if you're able to keep his mouth shut.
Oh, that's a nat 20.
22.
Without that nat 20, he succeeds.
You know, sometimes I hate you.
I've been saying for weeks that one way or another you're taking those fucking pills, and guess what? I meant every fucking word.
So you're able to keep Mikhail's mouth shut as you see a big gulp happen at his Adam's apple as he swallows these 2 pills.
I love it.
Hey,
Hell yeah!
hey,
Finally.
hey, Mikhail, can you give me a? Let me see. How many disadvantages is this?
God damn it.
Give me a Constitution save with 3 disadvantage rolls.
Damn.
We stack disadvantage and advantage in this playthrough.
What do you want from me? I'm not a miracle worker, okay? That's a 7.
You see Mikkel's face starts turning a deep red, and his eyes roll in the back of his head, and he starts foaming at the mouth.
Oh shit!
Dr. Spellweaver goes, "Oh, whatever you just did is hurting him even more. We gotta get him to a doctor ASAP, or he's gonna die."
But those are his morning pills that he's supposed to have been taking.
That's where we're ending the session today.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
Oh,
That's
fuck you!
dirty.
No, seriously, we gotta wait a whole nother week just to figure out what happens. I
Yes,
don't even know what happens to me.
yes, you're exactly right.
That's fucking dirty.
Fuck
Dirty.
you! Fuck you!
But you know
Zach.
what? I can now say that I made you take those fucking pills like I've been saying I was going to for weeks.
Thank you for listening to another Big Bear Dungeons podcast. We hope you enjoyed it, and we also hope that you share with your friends and family. Check out our social medias, and we'll see you next week.